Welcome back into the Sean Podcast. You know what time it is. Big Ush is here. Cat Daddy's here. Oh, ready for that advice time and cashing them receipts. Cat Daddy, what's on your mind?
We are entering week 6 of the NFL season, and so far you have been battling through underwhelming and underperforming performances. You've been battling through injuries, and guess what? We have a new obstacle coming your way. We have the bye weeks.
This is true. The bye weeks are coming up, but it's okay. You guys drafted for depth, right? Everybody drafted for depth.
You better.
Just want to make sure.
You better have been picking people up on the waiver wire.
Okay. So the first part of this, we're going to cash our receipts. And, yeah, I got some pretty bad receipts up here. So, my QB I had to trust was Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray did not have a great game this week. So, yeah, I was wrong. Just, things happen. Sean, how was your quarterback pick?
My quarterback pick was Patrick Mahomes, who put up 272 in the air, 2 touchdowns. He had 3 turnovers, 2 picks, a fumble lost.
So yeah.
Added 61 rushing yards. So if we're doing standard scoring, I'm counting upwards of 18 points. Like it's not QB1 material.
No, you got to take that loss, my friend.
What?
You picked Patrick Mahomes.
I did.
You got to take that loss because he did not put up Patrick Mahomes' numbers.
Okay, well, I didn't know I was going against Patrick Mahomes' expectation.
If you pick Patrick Mahomes, you got to take that Patrick Mahomes hit. You take the stud.
Fine.
You got to take the stud hit.
Then I take the stud hit. I'm going to take that one as a loss, which makes my week look even worse. Thank you, sir.
Well, my next one, my running back, I take the hit hard because he didn't play. Dalvin Cook. If he would have played, he probably would have had a lot of really good because his backup had a great game, but he didn't play. So that's not a hit on me. My bad, people. How about you?
I also took a loss at the running back position because I chose Saquon Barkley, who exited the game very early. So, yeah.
Again, my wide receiver, I picked Stephon Diggs. Another hit. Stephon Diggs acted like he didn't want to get in the end zone. Literally, there was a big bomb. I don't know what happened. He slowed down and he just sat there. Especially, it didn't make any sense because the KC safety looked like he wanted to let him in. Someone explain to me what happened.
No, I guess he's like, I want to get Dawson Knox another touchdown, so I'm not going to score. Yeah.
This one I think you did do well in.
Did I?
Got to win.
And how? I got Jamar Chase going up against the Packers secondary. He put up 6 receptions, 159 yards, and a touchdown. I'm cashing that one.
All right, so next up, my tight end. Nope. You lied to me. you said Green Bay doesn't cover tight ends.
Now,
what happened?
Is it that they don't cover tight ends, or Jamar Chase just had 159 yards and a touchdown?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
And my tight end, I ended up taking the loss. I was looking at Carolina's defense, and I'm like, look what Dalton Schultz just did to Carolina's defense. And I'm like, Dallas Goedert's going to keep this train rolling along. But Carolina's defense limited Jalen Hurts to under 200 yards passing through the air. He had no touchdowns, and Goddard only pulled in 2 of his 3 targets for 28 yards. So, yeah, I took a loss for that one.
All right, I need a ruling here because my quarterback not to trust was Jalen Hurts. He was held under 200 yards. He had an interception, but he had 30 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Rule that for me.
Oh, that's 15 points alone on the ground.
Give me a ruling on this.
All right, so he did 198 through the air, so that's going to get him
And
7 points, no touchdowns.
interception.
So that's 5 net points plus the 15 you put up from rushing. Like the reason that you're getting Jalen Hurts' garbage time in rushing, you're getting 20 plus points from him. I think that's a good outcome for a quarterback.
Damn it. I need a ruling on it. All right, fine.
We could petition to the people. We'll see if they think differently. But
Well, you were wrong also.
oh man, you know what? About 2.5 quarters through this game, I was so right with not trusting Justin Herbert, but he finishes with nearly 400 yards, 5 total touchdowns, 4 through the air, 1 on the ground, and Cleveland was really missing Jadeveon Clowney in this one.
Yes, they were. So here's the thing. It was just the yards. I was right. But he got 3 touchdowns. He got carried for 1. So I'm going to take the hit. But let's just be honest. He also had a fumble loss. Damn it. That's all I got to say.
So excluding yardage, he got 3 touchdowns, which is 18 points. Minus 2 is still 16 even without the yard. That's pretty good.
Whatever.
Now, my running back, I need your ruling for. Because it's Cordero Patterson. He's going against the Jets. He had 54 rushing yards. He had 60 receiving yards, but he had no touchdowns. So if we're saying 10 yards equal 1 point, he got 11 points. I am torn on whether that's a hit or not.
I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna give you the win. I am. I'm gonna give you the win there. Hopefully you'll be nice to me. I need another ruling. Deontay Johnson. He did have 72 yards and a touchdown off of 2 receptions. Is that a win? Is that a win for him?
No.
That's nonsense.
I know the number of receptions is not what you're expecting it to be, but you're thinking 70 yards, touchdown. That's 13 points from a wide receiver.
It was all off of one reception.
That's all you need sometimes.
I was expecting more from him. And you were expecting more from him.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
But no, I'll take some major hits this week. If that's the level that we look for is 2 receptions, just because he got the touchdown. If he didn't get the touchdown,
oh yeah, you would have been on the money if he didn't get the touchdown. 2 receptions, 70 yards, but the touchdown makes a difference.
go ahead, your receiver.
I took a loss with Courtland Sutton, so don't think like you're the one taking losses, because even with the questionable Cordell Patterson in there, I only have 2 right so far, and Courtland Sutton proved me wrong. I guess he didn't like what I was saying. But
Didn't like that what you was spitting.
I know, but I was also thinking that Drew Lock would be the quarterback, and Teddy Bridgewater was able to clear the concussion protocol and play the game, and boy did he play, because Courtland Sutton benefited with 7 receptions, 120 yards, and a touchdown. So even in a standard league, that's 18 points right there. On 11 targets, that was dead wrong.
All right, so looks like we both did well for our tight ends for not to trust, because Everett didn't even play. So if I got to take the hit on Cook, I'm taking the win on Everett.
I have found myself into some victories, not plans, by having a player who didn't end up playing the game. So I get it.
I mean, you had Robert Tonyan.
I got Robert Tonyan. 2 targets.
Not from lack of trying to get him at the ball.
2 targets, 1 reception for 8 yards. He is now under 10 receiving yards in 4 of the 5 games this year. At this point, Robert Tonyan is a touchdown-dependent wide tight end option.
All right, moving on to our next segment, Sean's favorite segment. This is where I catch him off guard.
Sure do.
And these are players based on their Week 5 performance I'm throwing out there to see if they're trustworthy as starts for the rest of the year. Jameis Winston.
I'm torn on Winston because I have a feeling that Sean Payton's just trying to manage the game and not have him throw more than 20, 25 times. And if he's limited to just 20 or 25 pass attempts, he may not have as much value. I don't like Jameis Winston right now moving forward.
Trevor Lawrence.
I like Lawrence more now that he has Dan Arnold to throw to. I do like that because he has a better intermediate option. You can do James Robinson shorts, you can do Dan Arnold intermediate, and then he has any wide receiver that Urban Meyer wants to avoid doing longer routes.
So yes.
Begrudgingly?
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly, Davis Mills.
Get out of here.
Hey,
Get out of
he
here.
put up numbers this week.
Yeah, but at some point, Tyrod Taylor's going to come back, and as soon as he comes back, he's going to get the starting job. There shouldn't be a question
That
about
would
it.
not be fortuitous for Houston. They need to go Davis Mills for the rest of the year to see if they need to draft a quarterback.
No. They need to draft a quarterback, but they need Davis Mills to keep playing, so they keep losing. They don't win games by accident.
Davis Mills might show up and all of a sudden turn into something. Stranger things have happened.
They sure have, just like the New York Jets accidentally winning games last year and losing out on number 1 pick Trevor Lawrence. Yes.
Yeah, but they're so happy with Zach Wilson.
Are they? Are they?
All right. In the absence of David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert saw more carries, more touches than I thought he would. I thought it would have been more in favor of Damian Williams, but it seemed like Khalil Herbert was doing better with his touches. And considering Montgomery's going to be out for another couple of weeks, I like the idea of Herbert. I do, more than I do Williams.
All right. My next one, Michael Carter of the New York Jets.
I don't trust the Jets outside of their passing game because I don't think they're going to be leading many games. I don't think they're going to be in a position where they have to kill the clock, run the ball. I think they're going to find themselves in game plans where they have to throw because they're behind. And while Carter does have some value there, I don't think it's enough to say I like him for the rest of the season. At least not yet.
All right, 2 more. What's his name? Devontae Booker.
Depends on how you feel about Saquon Barkley's injury because that thing looked nasty. And there's some people saying he's only going to miss 1 week. And there's some people saying that he's going to be missing several weeks and that the Giants should put him on the IR. He can be a 3-down back where he wouldn't have to split touches or carries. He can carry the ball. Granted, New York Giants may not be winning as much like the Jets, so their game plan may be more passing where he can make an impact as well. I like the idea of Booker just because of volume.
All right, lastly for the running backs, Tony Pollard.
Dallas is one of the top 2 rushing teams in the league, and they're doing so with splitting carries with Zeke and Tony Pollard. Pollard kind of reminds me what Cleveland's doing between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think Tony Pollard can produce enough to have his own value as a flex play.
All right, time for the fun part, the wide receivers.
Oh, man.
Marquise Brown.
Yes, bye. Yeah, he's proven to be a more reliable target for Lamar Jackson this year. I think anything like drops that were affecting him last year, while we saw a little bit of that earlier this year, I think he has stepped his game up. I don't know if it's catching the soccer ball. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's working. Maybe it's the absence of David Culley because the passing game has been looking pretty good. Granted, against Indianapolis, they were in comeback mode, play from behind mode. But I do like Marquise Brown.
All right, Kadarius Toney.
I do like Toney. He shows receiving ability and his shiftiness to force missed tackles, which is going to give him extra yards and potentially get on those long plays for touchdowns. I like that. I don't like the idea of the wide receiver depth chart for New York. Where is he going to find himself? Because earlier in the year, he found himself not playing. And
Right.
could it be part of the attitude? But if he keeps the attitude in check, I like him.
All right, two more. Michael Pittman Jr.
He is becoming a reliable target, a constant target for Carson Wentz. I like him.
And lastly, big breakout for this week, Chris Moore.
Get out of here. No. There's only one wide receiver in Houston who can sustain success, and it's Brandon Cooks.
You never know. Chris Moore didn't play those other weeks.
Because he was on somebody's practice squad, I think. Yeah.
No, I think he was with Houston. I think he might have been injured, but I could be wrong.
No, I wouldn't chase the Chris Moore success because you're thinking it's Houston, it's Davis Mills. For me, they haven't shown enough.
I get you. I'm just saying. I mean, we'll see.
Well,
All right. Let me get the tight ends out the way, and then we'll get to our last segment. All right, first tight end, David Njoku.
with Jarvis Landry being injured and with there being a disconnect with Odell Beckham, I think he does have sneaky potential. And considering how volatile that tight end position has been this year, if you need a tight end, I think he would be worth a pickup.
All right, my only other tight end is Donald Parham Jr.
I don't like him as much. He might get a touchdown here and there. He's going to be purely touchdown dependent from what I see because you have Jared Cook, the old dogs, leading the way.
All right, then that's all I got for tight ends this week. I mean, tight ends, let's be honest, it's hit or miss.
Yeah, one sneaky one might be Ricky Seals-Jones.
Maybe.
Well, Washington is without...
They've been without him for a little while, and Ricky Seals-Jones still has not produced. I said maybe.
Maybe.
All right, onward to who we trust this week and who we don't trust this week. I'll start off with quarterback. My quarterback I trust, Tom Brady, going against those Eagles. I'm sorry, I just see some fireworks in this one. Sean, how about you?
I've got Joe Burrow going against Detroit's. While his productivity and statistics could have been better against the Packers, he's going to get it right with a good matchup against that Detroit defense.
I don't know, Joe. Detroit's been pretty good against some teams lately. All right, next up, my running back. All right, now, I'm going to use a loophole here because this is contingent on him playing. But you said Joe Burrow, I'm gonna go Joe Mixon against the Lions.
I hope you're right.
See, last week I'm not nice to your team. This week I am. Who's your running back?
My running back is Najee Harris going against Seattle. Seattle's been giving up a lot on the ground, and even if Seattle finds a way to slow down that rushing attack, Najee Harris has been effective through the air too, so he's going to get his touches one way or another.
All right, next up, I've got Terry McLaurin going against the Chiefs. Here's the thing. Chiefs are still going to blow out Washington, so there's probably going to be a lot of garbage points. Terry McLaurin's going to get his due with whoever he's playing. And Chiefs secondary has not been good.
No.
Teams have been putting up points on them. So Scary Terry is going to have some games here. Go ahead.
Yep. My wide receiver, Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh.
Boom, boom. After a slow start in week 1, Pittman's averaged 9+ targets per game over the last 4 weeks. He's turned that into 6+ receptions and an average of 85 yards. He only has 1 touchdown of the year. He got that last week. But what he's been showing is he has value, and he's developing into Carson Wentz's most reliable targets.
They're playing Houston, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
All right, my next one. Tyler Higbee versus the New York Giants. The New York Giants linebackers are not good. Their safeties are okay, but their linebackers are not good. Higbee should be able to get some room in this game.
It's about time. It's about time for Higbee, because you're thinking a lot of that Rams passing game goes directly through the wide receivers. Kupp, Woods, Jefferson,
Higbee's had
Jackson.
some sneaky good games this year.
He has. I like that one. I've got a risky one because it's contingent upon someone missing the game. For the Thursday night game, I have Zach Ertz as my tight end to trust. Dallas Goedert is not expected to miss the game due to COVID, but it's not looking good for him to be able to make clearance for that game. And even with Goddard starting 2 of the last 3 weeks, Ertz has been the tight end who's been targeted more often. So Ertz is getting a lot more attention, and I think if there's Goddard out of the way, it's going to be a big game, and that Tampa Bay defense just hasn't been doing too well.
You need the person you need to not make the game is Levante David.
Well,
That's who you need out.
Yeah, that's true. He needs to be out.
All right, so my quarterback not to trust, Ryan Tannehill, going against Buffalo. No thank you, people. No thank you. I don't care if both Julio and AJ are there. No thank you. Who you got?
I've got Sam Darnold. Maybe it's regression. Maybe it's just been the lack of Christian McCaffrey. But I really think those 2 games since
What if
Dan
McCaffrey
Arnold's been
plays?
traded. What's that?
What if McCaffrey plays?
For me, I'm still in the mindset that option of Dan Arnold and what he brought to the team. Because in the 2 games without Arnold, Sam Darnold has had 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Sure.
And I don't like his matchup against Minnesota's defense because they can put pressure on him. And that Carolina offensive line, I haven't had many good things to say about it. I don't think they're going to be able to stop that pressure.
All right. Next up, my running back not to trust. As dysfunctional as it is, Josh Jacobs. I think that Denver rushing defense has a bounce back game. I think they'll be mad at what Najee did to them. And with everything going on with the Raiders, I don't think Josh Jacobs going to be able to do as much. Plus, they're playing in Denver. That altitude, which you know so well, ain't no joke.
That ain't no joke. Man, that was no joke.
Who you got?
I've got Thursday night's game, Miles Sanders, because you cannot run on the Tampa Bay defense. Now, the only way that this is going to burn me is if Jalen Hurts decides to throw to Miles Sanders 15 times, but that just doesn't look to be in the cards. But I've been proven wrong before.
See, that I almost picked Miles Sanders. So I thought to myself, yeah, well, they dumped the ball off to him a bunch.
They better dump those off to Zach Ertz, okay? Zach Ertz.
I at least know that Josh Jacobs' hands are suspect. All right, my wide receiver. Believe it or not, I'm going Buck Wild here. This guy just had a fantastic game against a guy who we have as Defensive Player of the Year. Well, not really that guy, against his team. But I'm saying Kadarius Toney does not have a great game against the Rams.
I can see that, yeah. I can see that.
All right, your wide receiver?
Odell.
No, wait. Before we, the only way Tony gets his game is the same way it happened in the Dallas game. It was garbage time because you know that's how he got all them yards. It was garbage time.
Trailing late, hurry up offense, move. Yeah,
Right.
defense taking a breather, taking a step back. Yeah.
All right, your wide receiver?
Odell Beckham Jr. going against Arizona. Cleveland has been running the ball more and more. They've been giving Chubb, Hunt plenty of carries to really have their own standalone value. Baker Mayfield just seems to have a disconnect with Odell. And now
It
that
doesn't seem to be working out.
now that we're talking about this, he's probably going to have a great game just because that's how it works. Like when I have Marquez Callaway, if he's on my bench, he does great. If he's in my lineup, he does poor. So it may be one of these, but from what I've seen the past couple of weeks, I would have a hard time trusting Odell.
All right, my next one, I'm kind of cheating here. Normally you say that tight ends do really well against this defense, but it burned me last week, and I don't think this guy's going to get well this week. So I'm saying Cole Kmet, as much as Justin Fields and him are trying to get on the same page, it does not happen against the Green Bay Packers. Cole Kmet, I do not trust.
No, it's actually a good one because Chicago hasn't been throwing the ball. It's like they're trying to run the ball as much as they can to keep Justin Fields safe. And I think until the Bears unleash Justin Fields on a consistent basis, your Chicago playmakers, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, they're all going to take a drop. So I get that one, and I hope it's true because
Yeah.
Packers.
All right, who you got?
This one I might be wrong on next week, so I'm already prepared that this receipt's not going to be cashed in my favor. But tight end not to trust, and you drafted him early, and it's going to hurt. Darren Waller going against Denver. Last few weeks, Denver's been playing the tight end pretty well, and that includes limiting Mark Andrews to 5 receptions for 67 yards back in week 4. So they've been playing tight ends pretty well. And I think Las Vegas comes out. Big change. Who we don't know how that Raiders team is going to react.
True.
So I cannot trust Darren Waller for those 2 reasons.
All right. That's all we wrote for the fantasy episode. Big week coming. Sean, any words of wisdom?
Waiver wires, pay attention to them. If you haven't started already, you better keep an eye out because there are some people out there who are going to help you win championships. And just because we say we don't trust a player, it doesn't mean that you have to bench them. For example, Darren Waller, he is probably the best tight end option on your team. You may have a secondary tight end. You may find somebody to stream online, but lower the expectations. And if you lose money because of me, I'm really sorry. But
right,
you already know I'm a professional amateur, so.
Here's what I'm going to say, piggybacking what he said. Regardless of who we trust and don't trust, you drafted a person high for a reason.
You play them.
Play your studs. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody on the bench who did better than your stud a different week. You drafted this guy high for a reason. They are consistent. They are going to give you those points regardless. It's not going to be like that one guy on your bench who scored, let's say, 30 points one week and the next week 5. Your stud is your stud. Stick with your studs. No regrets. Okay?
Yeah, you drafted them in the first couple of rounds.